What is good, you guys? Welcome back to the report. Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you my mid-season grades for every Miami Heat player. We are exactly 41 games into the season, and I think this is the perfect time for me to grade every single player. I'm going to be answering a couple of your questions. We didn't have too many questions, so I do encourage all of you guys to ask as many questions as you can in the comment section below, so we can I can do this question of the day series, and I can answer all of your questions that you guys ask in the comment section. But yeah, without further ado, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Very close to 1,700 and on the road to 2,000 subscribers, man. Let's get right into it. So, question of the day. Let's just start off with the question of the day. So, well, a lot of you guys, I think there was like 5 or 6 of you guys who were asking why we did not sign DeMarcus Cousins. I think that, you know, I couldn't even like just get the names because there was so many people. It was like it was on different videos too. Like everyone was asking why we didn't sign DeMarcus Cousins. I'm just gonna break this down real quick. If you guys do not know, DeMarcus Cousins just got picked up, I think a week ago by the Denver Nuggets, after being released by the Milwaukee Bucks. So a lot of people were asking why we did not sign DeMarcus Cousins. So I do believe that when DeMarcus Cousins was on the Bucks and the Heat were going through that stretch where they had so many protocol issues on that Spurs game, which got postponed, I think we signed Chris Silva then, and DeMarcus Cousins was still on the Bucks. So once DeMarcus Cousins got released, Chris Silva had not yet exceeded his 10 days yet. He was still on the team. He had not, his 10 days had not been complete. So he was still on the team even once DeMarcus Cousins left the Bucks. And then once DeMarcus Cousins got picked up by the Nuggets, that's when we waived not waived Chris Silva. That's when his 10 days expired. And then by that time, DeMarcus Cousins was already on the Nuggets. So I think the timelines kind of conflicted with that because I just don't think it worked out. I think there was no really use signing DeMarcus Cousins with Chris Silva already on the roster, even though I think Cousins is better. And number 2, I do think that Chris Silva, the Heat probably thought that Chris Silva fits the system better because he already knows the playbook and all that stuff. So that's my like short answer as to why we did not sign DeMarcus Cousins. But maybe there's like a more long drawn out response that I did not even get to that you guys can probably think of. So if you guys have any idea as to why we did not sign him, these are just my 2 guesses. Leave them in the comment section below. So that was a lot of your questions were asking about DeMarcus Cousins. I think one question that I do have to answer comes from Mohan, who asked about if we were to extend Bam and Tyler and give them both max contracts, would you do this if it meant letting Jimmy go? Now, first of all, I think we can keep Jimmy around while giving, well, we already have Bam on the max, but while even giving Tyler money, the bag, I still think Jimmy could still be on the roster. Now, Bam got his extension in last year, 2021, when he was drafted in 2017. So approximately 4 years after he was drafted is when he got his extension, which probably sets up Tyler's extension to be next year, 2023, because he was drafted in 2019. Now, whether this extension, like the money will work and all that, I'm not a cap expert, but 2023 is, I think, going to be when Kyle Lowry is on the last year of his deal. So when Kyle Lowry's contract expires, I think is when would probably be the ideal time to extend and give Tyler Hero the max, or not the max, but whatever money he's deserving. I don't know if Tyler Hero is a max player. That's up to you guys to figure that out. But I think that, you know, I still think we can keep all of them on the team. And I do think that the primary player that we have to cater to is Jimmy Butler, because we just gave him so much money. And it's not like if we give Tyler Hero the max, and if we give Bam the max, and if we give so many other players, you know, money, and if we want to part ways with Jimmy Butler, what team is going to take on his extension? You know, we just extended him, and at one point he's going to be making upwards of 50 million, and I don't think any team is trading for that. As good as Jimmy Butler has been for us, I'm not saying he's not worth that extension, because obviously I do think we should have extended him. If we were to get rid of Jimmy Butler, I don't think any team is gonna take his contract, and I don't think he's gonna want to play for any other team. He said that he wants to retire in Miami, so I do think he will retire as a Heat, and I do think that we can make this work out with him, Hero, and Bam already on the team, and with Bam and Hero being long-term pieces while also catering towards Jimmy Butler's timeline, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that was basically the questions you guys asked. Like I said, ask more questions in the comment section below if you guys have any. But let's get right into these grades, man. So just like a disclaimer, I'm not going to be doing the grades of the 10-day players like Kyle Guy and all these guys. because number one, they did not play enough, and number two, I don't even know their futures on this roster. I know Kyle Guy and Chris Silva got second 10 days, but that doesn't mean that their job is safe on this team. So yeah, I'm not gonna do the grades for those guys, but I will do the grades for the other the first 15/16 players who were already on the team, including Caleb Martin and Marcus Garrett as two-way players. Jimmy Butler, let's start off with Jimbo, man. Jimmy Buckets. Vote for Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, and Kyle Lowry to be All-Stars. Votes count double today. If you guys want a very simple way to vote, I posted this on my Twitter. I just, did the hashtag Jimmy Butler, NBA All-Star, all that stuff. Just go to my Twitter. It'll be in the comment section, the pinned comment, and just retweet it. Or just go on NBA.com and vote these guys, because we do want some All-Stars in Miami. But Jimmy Butler, now this is tough. Jimmy Butler has only played about 23 games, but in the games that he did play, I think Jimmy Butler's been phenomenal. He was an MVP candidate when he was healthy. So I'm going to give Jimmy Butler an A. I think that Jimmy Butler, and this is all relative to what my expectations were for the players. So this is not just like grades in general. This is as far as what I expected, what I'm giving these guys. So Jimmy Butler is an A for me. I think that he's been playing phenomenal basketball whenever he's been healthy. He has gotten injured a little bit this season, but I do think that, when he comes back, I think he'll be fine. It's been that ankle problems, but I think he'll figure it out. He's always been like, a tough player mentally and physically. And I cannot wait to see him back in the Heat uniform. He should be back. Fingers crossed for the next game against the Hawks. But if not, maybe the game after that against the Sixers. But yeah, Jimmy Butler, I'm going to give an A. Tyler Hero is the next player we're going to be grading. Tyler Hero, for his expectations coming into the season, I labeled Tyler Hero. I made a video saying he's the X factor of this team. And I do think that if he can have a season where he's averaging 18 plus points per game, that we can be really, really good. Now, Tyler Hero has exceeded my expectations because he's averaging upwards of 20 points per game, while also facilitating and rebounding, doing everything that it takes to be a winner. And it's not just like, people classify Tyler Hero as a scorer, but his playmaking has taken a huge uptake this year. He's been a really good initiator. Even last night against the Hawks, he kind of like just drove us. He was like the driving force of us taking the lead in the first half. Like he was like, we were struggling, and then he just came into the game and he's provided a spark like he's done so many times this season. I'm gonna give Tyler Hero an A too. I'm not really gonna give A pluses out here because for A pluses you have to be perfect, and I don't know if any of these guys have been perfect, but Tyler Hero is also gonna get an A. I think that Tyler Hero has been exceptionally exceeding expectations, man. He's been so good this year, and I think he should be in consideration for the All-Star game. So vote Tyler Hero as well. Kyle Lowry is the next guy we're gonna be talking about. I'm gonna give Lowry a B plus, man. I think Lowry has been playing really well. He started off the season a little bit slow as far as shooting the ball, and his shooting splits from three I don't think are that great off the top of my head. He's missed a lot of three-pointers, but there's some games that he's taken over. He's been a facilitator, a really good facilitator throughout this whole season. His defense, his leadership, he's kind of been that rock without Jimmy and Bam, leading us to the 2 seed or the 3 seed, wherever we are right now. But we are 2 games behind the 1 seed. So I'm going to give Kyle Lowry a B+. I don't think he's been as good as Jimmy or Tyler, but maybe you guys can argue that he has. But he's been really, really good still. So I'm going to give him a B+. Omer Yurtseven, man. Wow, what can I say about this guy? This guy has absolutely played phenomenally. Last night, he started off the game pretty slow, turned the ball over a little bit. And I'm not like a Yurtseven super fan. I think that he can be a good player, a solid player. But I still think that when fully healthy, it should be Bam and Dedmon in the lineup. But the way that he has played without Bam and the way that he has played without Dedmon as the starting center, breaking records, rebounding records, cleaning the glass. He's been really, really good in the pick and roll as far as, pick and roll player. His passing has been something that has surprised me because I did not see this. And I knew about Yurtseven from Georgetown. So his passing was incredible. A lot more than what I expected. I always knew he could score the ball. Yurtseven once scored 91 points in a game, international game. So I knew he could score the ball, but his passing has really surprised me. Defensively, he can get put in a pick and roll and get scored on, but that's expected out of most slow 7-footers. But at the rim, he's been physical, and I like that. So I'm gonna give Yurtseven, for what I expected from Yurtseven this year. I didn't expect him to play that much because I thought we were gonna be healthy. But with all these protocols, the way he stepped up, I have to give Yurtseven a B+, A-. Like, he's been playing amazingly. Like, Yurtseven, shout out to Omer, man. He's been really working hard, and it's paying off for him. Victor Oladipo, incomplete, are not available or whatever. I'm not grading him. Obviously, he has not played a single game, but hopefully he comes back soon. Duncan Robinson. This is a tricky one because Duncan Robinson started the season slow, man. Shooting slumps. But over these last couple of games when he's been back, it's like a breath of fresh air. Over these last couple of games, he's been pretty solid, man. He's been really good. In some games, he's been up and down this season. For what I expected from Duncan Robinson, obviously, I don't want to think about the money that we paid him, but it obviously comes into, a factor that we paid this guy $90 million. I'm not as harsh on Duncan as some Heat fans are, but I did expect more from him. I'm not going to lie. I expected him to shoot 40% from 3. So I'm going to give Duncan a C. Actually, I don't know if that's too harsh, man. C or C+, one of the two. Like, I don't want to go too crazy on Duncan. I do think that Duncan's overall game has been better, though. I think defensively he's been better. And I do think passing wise, he's always had the IQ in the 2-man game to find the roller every time 2 guys blitz at him. So he's always had that in his locker. It's just a shooting slump. It's literally just a shooting slump. So you know what? I'm gonna give him a C+ because I don't think the shooting slump can bring him down that much. Like it's a slump, man. All shooters go through a slump. So I'm not gonna go too harsh on Duncan. Bam Adebayo, interesting. When Bam has played, he's been looking really, really good. He's averaging career highs in points and all that. It's just the injury that we haven't seen him on the court that much. And I do think when he plays, he's going to bring a different dynamic to this team. Bam was having a phenomenal season, man. He was having a really good season. I'm going to give Bam it's tough. I don't want to dock him for, the amount of games played because you cannot really control injuries like that. So I'm going to give Bam an A. I think Bam has been really, really good whenever he's played. And I do think that when he comes back, he's going to make this team a lot better because we know he's an all-star. So vote Bam for all-star, like I said in the beginning. But yeah, I'm going to give Bam an A. Whenever he's played, he's been looking really good. PJ Tucker, I'm going to also be giving I'm going to give PJ Tucker a B+. Which is the same grade as Kyle Lowry. So now I want to move Kyle Lowry's up. I'm going to give Kyle Lowry an A- and PJ Tucker a B+. I don't know if that's the same thing to you guys, but I think Lowry has been better. I don't want to give Lowry the same as Jimmy, Tyler, or Bam, though, because I think those 3 have been our best players this season whenever they've played. But PJ Tucker has been really good, man. Leading the league in 3-point percentage. Defensively, he's been there. I think PJ Tucker has been better than Jay Crowder was for us. And I love Jay. Jay was really good for us in the bubble. But PJ, defensively, that little floater that he's developed is really helpful because it's the same thing, Duncan and other shooters like that can really use PJ to their advantage when 2 guys blitz at them because they can just give PJ a bounce pass and it's just a floater, easy floater for him, which he's been practicing this season. But PJ Tucker, I'm definitely giving him a B+. I think that I expected PJ to do this, though. I really expected PJ to come in. He was my favorite signing this year. I know I like the Kyle Lowry signing, but PJ Tucker was my favorite signing this year because I expected Lowry, so it wasn't like a big surprise for me. But when we got PJ Tucker, I was like, man, this is a squad. So PJ Tucker, I'm gonna give a B+. Caleb Martin, I'm gonna give Caleb Martin an A-, man. Caleb Martin has been phenomenal this season, and I might even bump this to an A. For him to be a 2-way player and for him to do what he's been doing this season, guarding the team's best player, like he's been guarding De'Aaron Fox, he's been guarding Stephen Curry, he's been guarding Chris Paul, he's been guarding Trae Young. Last night, Trae Young did not score on the man. He's been phenomenal. Caleb Martin has been absolutely amazing this year. I will not be surprised if he's playing in the playoffs. And he's been crazy. Caleb Martin's been ridiculous. His contract value for what we paid for him to do what he's been doing. And for him to only be a 2-way player, I cannot stress enough how impactful he's been to our team. So I might even give him an A because for what I expected from Caleb Martin, obviously he's not scored as much as Jimmy, Tyler, or Bam and all that. But this is as far as what I expected. I didn't even expect Caleb Martin to play that much this year. And he's been phenomenal. So I'm going to give him an A. Markieff, it's tough, man. It's tough for Markieff because he's been obviously the whiplash and all that stuff. But I really thought when he played, he gave us a pretty different dynamic with that mid-range, mid-post area. We were able to use him. He was able to take those turnaround mid-range shots and those, pick and pops, and he was a pretty good team player for us. I don't know the stats off the top of my head, his net ratings and all that, because I'm not an advanced stats guy, but I thought he was pretty solid for us before the injury. His shooting from three was like pretty down at the start of the season, but then he picked it up. So I don't know. I really don't know if I should even give Markieff a grade, because I don't think he played enough. So I'm gonna give Markieff an incomplete so far, because he hasn't played enough games for me to really judge him, and I haven't really seen him in a long time. Udonis Haslem, A+. Shout out to UD, being the vet, being the guy, OG, man. He's been hitting threes and all that. He was amazing. And it's UD. We got to give him an A+. So UD, A+. Dwayne Dedman, I'm going to give Dwayne Dedman a B+. I think that Dwayne Dedman has been playing pretty well. When he's been called upon. He's just a very serviceable backup center. That's why they call him a mechanic, because he's always reliable. He's just, I think he should be the second string center on this team during the playoffs, because his rim protection last night was really, really good. He had a couple of block shots. He's really good he has pretty nice finesse at the rim. I think his touch is very underrated. He's had a couple of up and under layups this season that had been surprising to me. So I'm gonna give Dwayne Dedman a B+. And then Gabe Vincent, I'm gonna give Gabe Vincent an A- as well, and maybe even an A. I think that Gabe, Caleb, and Max and Omer all deserve like the same grade, because these guys have been playing phenomenal basketball, man. Gabe Vincent has been crazy this year. At times, I think that the Philadelphia 76er game was ridiculous. Like when he kind of just put us on his back and he hit that game winner on the Sixers. So he deserves a lot of credit, man. Same with Max Strus. Max Strus has been phenomenal this season as well, shooting the ball. And I think Max Strus, out of those four, him and Caleb Martin have impressed me the most. Vincent and Yurtseven have also impressed me, but I think Strus and Martin, man, they've been such a breath of fresh air for this team. So yeah, I think they all deserve like A-, B+, like maybe even A's, depending on who you ask. But I'm gonna give him an A-. Marcus Garrett did not play enough, so I'm not really gonna give him a grade. KZ Okpala has played a couple of games, man, and I do think before he got injured, KZ was finding a role on this team. He was hitting corner threes. He was playing great defense. And for what I expected from KZ, I'm just gonna give him a solid B. I don't think he was like terrible this season, but I don't think he was like amazing. So I did think he exceeded my expectations for what he did. So I'm gonna give KZ a B. I think that KZ, I didn't know if there was a future for KZ on this team, because last year when I made a video about KZ, I was like, he has to figure out what his role is on this team, because it's getting to his third year right now, and he still hasn't found like a consistent spot on this team in the rotation. And I think he was big for us in that Bucks game. In a lot of these games, Spo was using him as a small ball 5, and I love that. I thought KZ played well at times this year. He didn't play much, but I thought when he played, he showed me some flashes. So KZ Okpala B. We already did Duncan Robinson. I gave him like a C+. So that's the squad. That's the team. And that's where we're gonna end the video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, man. Let me know what you agreed and disagreed with in the comment section below. I really feel bad for giving Duncan Robinson, like he was like the only C+. So I don't know if I should increase that or if I should keep that a C+. But apart from that, I think I nailed every other grade, I think, pretty solidly. I think everyone has been playing pretty well. And I do think that fully healthy, this team is a problem. So I don't really think anyone has been playing terribly this season, which is why I'm giving all these high grades. Spoelstra, I forgot about Eric Spoelstra. A+, man. He's another A+. He's the best coach in the NBA. I don't even think it's remotely close. What he's been doing with this team, with the most road games, fewest home games, obviously, most road games. We are sixth in defense. We are top 6 in defensive rating and top 6 in offensive rating. We are playing 23 games without Bam Adebayo, 18 games without Jimmy Butler. We are only 0.5 games away from the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, which has been a lot better than the West this season, and only 2 games away from the 1 seeded Chicago Bulls. I mean, what can I say? Coach of the year, Spoelstra is just a wizard, man. He's been unbelievable this year. So Yeah, I mean that's all I'm gonna say about Eric Spoelstra. I could say so much more, but you guys know about Spo. But that's where we're gonna wrap up the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. Questions of the day in the comment section below. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my grades, and vote for those all-stars, man. I'll see y'all later as always. Peace.